What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XCN, OnyxCoin today. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here. So we did it, you guys. We slipped, we did it, but this is the perfect, I think this is the most perfect thing that could have happened, right? Because it invalidated my thought that we wouldn't go lower, but it also completely invalidated the thought that if we went lower, that we would go dramatically lower, right? Or at least as of now, that's what it's looking like. This does, at least at the moment, seem to present this look of a fake out, right? Where you slipped, you broke your breakout point here. You broke out, you had the breakout move. That is definitely, that's not like a slight little prod right below. You definitely broke out, but then you ate it all back up, and you've got more volume coming in than you've seen basically since the 18th, right? It's the 20th now. So you've got more volume coming in than you have in the last 2 days on a 1 hour basis. And then even before that, you know, other than this spike here, you've actually got more volume than really anything else since the 16th, right? So just other than that one time, other than this bullish time where you were at your low and you were moving up and there's buying action going on, other than that one time there, you've got more volume now than you have on any other hour for the last like week now. So and looking like you're turning around here, looking like it's a fake out. This really does look like a fake out. Now I will say I'm a bit preemptive in this. By the time you guys watch this video, I'm either going to have egg on my face or I'll be validated, right? So I think that it will, in a short amount of time, because we are on the 1 hour time frame, I think that it'll do one of those two things, right? The price will either validate me or make me look silly. So I'm anticipating with this look alone that you will continue to move up, but you have 38 minutes left in this hour. You've already moved down and you've already moved back up, so you really could, I mean, you could move back down and you could move lower and then move up and move lower, all in the next 38 minutes. You've done a lot so far. So I think this reversal, though, I think with this kind of volume coming in, I think over the next 38 minutes you continue to move up. What I would love to see is that wherever your next high comes in, wherever it is, I'd like to see that it's above about 2.05 cents. I'd like to see that, right? I'm not saying that you have to move up in a straight line, right? And I'm not saying that I want to see you do this all the way up. And I mean, you can do that, I suppose. But what I'm saying I'd like to see is off of this fake out reversal candle is what it looks to be right now. I'd like to see an immediate move up that takes you above these highs here, your most kind of recent highs, right? Because here you had this little horizontal channel, which is what you just broke out of. So validate that it is a true fake out by not just false breaking to the downside, but real breaking to the upside. I'd like to see a candle close above 0.0205. I think that would be really validating. And it's not completely validating, right? We've got more work to go than that, but that would just be, I think that would be a nice short-term, very near kind of price that we could get excited about, right? And again, getting excited is fun, but it doesn't validate you completely. We still could go lower after that. It's very possible. This thing is volatile. XCN is a real tricky one, man. I swear, as soon as you think you know where it's going, it does the opposite. A good bit of the time, at least. And I'm surprised. I genuinely am surprised that we went lower, because even though, and I said this last night, and I've said this over the past couple days, even though the charts look very obvious, like they'd want to go down, my thoughts are exactly because of that, that's why it's going to go up. And that's not a good line of thinking most of the time, okay? I don't use that for every single scenario, but for this one, I feel like there are a lot of eyes on XCN. I feel like it's being painted a certain way for these eyes, and generally in these kind of circumstances is actually the obvious move that does not come to fruition. And it makes sense that we slipped, we showed our hands with this quote unquote obvious move, and now you've given it back up, right? Now we're eating it back and moving to the upside. And I want to say something too before we move on. I was assuming, right, that this low here, this was one low, that was another low, and then this was your third low. And what discouraged me was the idea of breaking this line, because generally speaking, whenever you hit a line 4 times, you will break it, so you will go lower. But what if it wasn't? What if that wasn't the third low? What if this is the third low? What if by the end of this 4-hour candle, we are green? It looks more pronounced, like a bounce. I'm just saying, this is fine. This makes me worry a lot less that we would drop below this low here and inevitably go down to something around there, right down to 1.6 cents like we were talking about. This isn't a bad thing. If we look at the 4-hour time frame, you've got all the opportunities, man. Everything about this looks like you want to go lower. It does. And it's looked like that for, I mean, genuinely, I mean, basically since back here, since the 15th of February, it's looked like you want to go to the oversold zone. If I was looking at this RSI from back here and you asked me, is it going to go to the oversold zone? I'd say, well, if it goes below the 40, yes, it's going to go into the oversold zone. The fact you didn't go to the oversold zone is wild. You went above the 40, you went back below it, you even found resistance there, and you're still not in the oversold zone. What is going on? And I think we all know what's going on, or maybe you don't. Let me tell you, it's psychological warfare. They're trying. The artists behind this coin, the market makers, whoever they are trying to get you to sell at the lows. And if you've sold, they're doing their job right. They're pretty damn good at their job, because you can see there's a little bit of volume coming in at all of these lows, right? There are people that are selling, unfortunately, at these areas, and it's the worst time possible. Genuinely, let me put it in another way, right? If you have bought throughout this range, understand that if you sell here or anywhere lower from here, you are genuinely selling at the worst possible time since January. So why would you sell here? It's not a good time to sell, right? Let's get into validating things to the upside. I got distracted there. So because of these lows, I got distracted. I got all excited. But from this low to that high, okay, good. We already had the fib on there. Bouncing off the 886, that's the deep retracement too, man. That's the line you'd want to hold too. It's looking good. To validate this bounce, really, I was saying we can get excited about 0.0205, but to truthfully validate it, we need a 4-hour candle or 2 1-hour candles in a row to close above 2.17 cents. And even then, I would like 2 4-hour candles to close above the golden ratio. If you find your deep retracements and then you come up and you find support at your deep retracements, and then you come up and you close above your golden ratio 8 out of 10 times, 9 out of 10 times, it's not perfect. Anything can happen, right? But generally speaking, that would mark this as your low and that you are going up. And I mean that with like an 80 to 90% certainty. So we're looking for this would be really validating. 2.17 cents or $0.0217. Something above there on a multi 4-hour closing basis. Multi-hour would be exciting enough, but I want to see 2 4-hour candles or a daily candle close above there before I get too excited. And once that happens, once it's the end of the day, once it's my night times video in about 12 hours from now when I make the next XCN video, hopefully we're celebrating. Hopefully everything is to the upside again, right? We're back, we're ready to go, but it really does depend on what we're doing here, because this video, again, I'm setting myself up for some egg in my face. This is very preemptive, very, very, very preemptive. And every time I've done this throughout this whole like correction, it's worked out so far being preemptive, but my luck's gonna run out at some point. So could this be it? Again, you know, we've looked death in the face like 5 times now. At some point we're gonna get got. And if it does happen, if we get gotten here, do not fret, my friends. We will likely also find support down here and continue to move up afterwards. Okay, so as quickly, as dramatic and sad as it would be to move to the downside, it'll get eaten up just as fast, I promise you. I mean, I can't promise you that, right? Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but I don't even anticipate that happening. We're only mentioning it in case it does happen, because right now my eyes are definitely pointed upwards. Hopefully we get that. So I got nothing else for you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. I'm hoping that by the time a lot of you watch this, we're already above some of those key areas that we were looking for. And the higher up we go, the more validating it is. We want to see volume as we progress. As we progress higher, I would say that coming up here, not so much, but once we get above about 2.5 cents, we want to start seeing volume come in. More volume than this, more volume than what we saw back here, ideally, right? We want to start to see some volume come in as we break out of this lower part of consolidation of this overall range, right? And then same thing here. We don't need to see, whenever it comes to the daily time frame, we don't need to see a lot of volume on our retracement up, but once we start getting above about 3.5 cents, 4 cents, when we start getting above that area, that's when we want to start seeing some of these more higher levels of daily volume come in like we did before, right? Doesn't have to be above average until we get above there. Okay, so we can move up without above average daily volume. But once we start getting to these areas where we look like we're about to break out, that's when we want to see some volume come in. Volume's not everything. Things can move up still, but I'm telling you what I would want to see. Okay, what would make me sleep easy at night? And beyond all that, I mean, if we're moving up, we probably will. We'll probably get some good volume because we'll break out of this here pretty soon, but anyways, I'm talking at this point, so I'm going to end the video there. Hit the like button, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one, you guys. Take it easy. XCN, you guys, we're moments away. We are literally, I think, by the end of this month, we're like 8 days out from seeing prices that are back above 4 cents, potentially even seeing prices that are above 5 cents over the next 8 days. So don't crap the bed here, okay? Please don't. It's the worst time to sell. It's absolutely the worst time to sell. It's a great time to buy, though. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. If you can buy here and tell yourself, I'm okay with it dropping to like 1.6 cents. If you can muster that, if you can stand that, then yeah, it's a great time to buy. If you can't stand that, then crypto might not be for you, because that volatility, you're going to find it anywhere, no matter where you buy. But again, I'm talking. So hit the like button, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Take it easy. Bye.